Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new episode. Actually, welcome to the first episode of this new series slash playlist dedicated to the editor of War in the East 2. Because I think at least two of you guys kindly asked me to talk about it. Because I understand that the editor is as complex as the game itself. And believe me, it took me like, would say, 6 to 7 months to really understand nearly everything about the editor. And with this being said, if you guys have any specific topic that you would like me to talk about in this playlist, please let me know in the comments here below. I don't care about the YouTube algorithm, I just care about helping you guys in understanding the editor. Talking about the editor in this introductory tutorial, I wanted to briefly give you a short overview and to mention one thing about the AI, also known as the main bottleneck. So first of all, when you click the editor, you have here this window with load scenario and load generic data. I will not talk about the generic data in this series because as we will see, there is the option to keep the specific scenario data modified and saved and locked in that specific scenario. And you see also this button here, switch to new editor. As you can see, do not click it because the new editor is only good for renaming units and air groups and to have an easier management of the units transfer to the map, to our theater boxes. So for the sake of let's say learning the editor, stick to the old one because it's working. That's it basically. So and also in this introductory tutorial, I wanted to convince you guys about why it's a bad idea to create a scenario from scratch and why it is much easier to modify an already existing scenario. And I will use also as a comparison my custom scenario, the 1942 campaign, which, as you can see here, I am currently updating to version not 1.2 but even 1.3. There will be plenty of changes. But basically, let's load the canonical 1941 campaign. And let's say the main bottleneck, the main reason of why it's incredibly difficult to create a scenario from scratch rather than modifying an existing one is basically this one here, the AI identity. Now, if you click on this one here, you see that you need to enter the scenario AI ID, which is basically a number from 0 to 29. It does not mean that there are 29 AIs. There are actually, I think, 16 or 17 AIs. But basically, there is a set of predefined AI, and you cannot modify it. You cannot access to the AI code. You can do one thing, and this will come up, I think, at the end or towards the end of this tutorial series. You can guide the opening turn of the scenario when facing the AI. But when you want to select the AI ID, you have to type here a number. Let's try with 24. You see Leningrad Liberation, for instance. I think I don't exactly. So this one here, 18 is the 1942 Case Blue AI. And when I found this, I say this was the main reason, or let's say the only reason that motivated me to create from scratch the 1945 Grand campaign. The other most important option that I mentioned already at the beginning is to lock the generic data. Generic data are basically these, from units to nation weather. If you change anything within this new scenario and you do not lock the generic data, everything will be lost. So when you want to create a new scenario, the first thing to do is to lock the generic data. In the case of the 1942 Case Blue run campaign, I had to set the AI to use this identity, and of course I had to change the date to June 28th, 1942, and then of course I called it the 1942 campaign. This is just an example, and of course save it. By saving it, the game will create a new scenario called 1942 campaign, and then you can use this as a building block to do all the modifications of the case. In my case, I had to click process turns from June 22nd. If you do this, it will take some time, but basically all the unit transfer and disbandments and movements and blah 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 will occur, and you will end up on the map with I think around Berlin and around Moscow, and in these areas and here and here. With all the units that will move from the theater boxes to the map, and of course vice versa. And yeah, let's say this. That's nearly all for this introductory scenario. What I would like to do in the upcoming episodes is to give you, let's say, an overview of what you can do in these tabs of the generic data. I will record at least one tutorial about the event editor, because again here there is a lot that has to be discussed about it, and also a tutorial about the hex and roads and names and maybe even railways editor. After having done these, I would like to dedicate some specific tutorials. For instance, and I guess the most interesting one is how to create new units from scratch. And of course, as I said at the beginning, if you guys have any specific topic that you would like me to talk about, please let me know in the comments section here below, because trust me, there is a lot that can be discussed about the editor, and of course I don't want to make videos which are too boring for you to watch, or that will not teach you anything useful for your custom scenarios. And I would say that's it. That's all from my side, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Well, as always, I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you all in the next episode.